You ever walk past a yacht club lately and notice how quiet it is? No clinking glasses, no kids running around in life jackets, just a couple of old retirees sitting around talking about how great the old days were. Once upon a time, yacht clubs were the place to be, the social center of summer life. Now a lot of them look more like private nursing homes with docks. So today we're asking, what happened to yacht clubs? Why did they lose their spark, and can they actually make a comeback? Grab a coffee or beer if you're feeling authentic, and let's talk about why these once vibrant sailing institutions are taking on water. Let's rewind to the 1970s and 80s. Back then, yacht clubs were booming. If you had a modest sailboat and a taste for adventure, you joined the local club. You got access to the docks, races, crab boils, and maybe most importantly, the social scene. It wasn't about money so much as belonging. Membership meant community. You spend your summer weekends teaching your kids to sail, racing around the bay, and spending evenings swapping tall tales with friends on the deck. Some clubs had waiting lists years long. The bar was packed, the race committees were busy, and the annual regatta was basically a small town holiday. Even if your yacht was a 22-foot fixer-upper, it didn't matter. The point was that you were part of something bigger, a family of people who loved the water. But somewhere along the line, that sense of camaraderie faded, and the clubs that used to feel like home started feeling like relics. Say the words yacht club out loud. Most people instantly picture an old guy in a captain's hat and blazer, probably named Chip or Thurston, leaning on the bar bragging about his new custom yacht. That's the stereotype, right? Elitist, stuffy, exclusive, and unfortunately it's not entirely wrong. For decades, yacht clubs weren't just about sailing, they were about status. You didn't just join a club, you got invited. You needed references, sponsors, and sometimes a few zeros in the bank account. Back in the day, plenty of private clubs in both the US and Canada had unspoken rules about who could and couldn't join. Religion, ethnicity, income, all of it factored in. And while those days are thankfully long gone, the reputation stuck around. So to the average person today, yacht clubs feel less like community sailing centers and more like something between a gated community and a cocktail lounge. That image, that elitist vibe, is poison to modern generations. People today value inclusion, diversity, and casual fun. If your club still acts like the 1950s country club with masks, you're not exactly pulling in the TikTok crowd. All right, if you get past the image problem, there's another iceberg waiting for you, the cost. Let's do some quick math. You buy a small sailboat, let's say a 27-footer. You're in for 10 to 15K just to get it in the water. Now you need to slip maybe $3,000 a year. Insurance, maintenance, and a haul out or two, that's another few grand. Dues are $1,200 a year plus a dining minimum and a $4,000 initiation fee. And you have to do 20 work hours a year on top of that. Oh, by the way, you might not be able to get a slip at the club for several years also. Suddenly, your relaxing hobby costs as much as a European vacation every year. Now imagine being 30 years old, buried under student debt, living in a rental apartment with almost no hope of affording a house or condo. Are you really going to drop $5,000 on a yacht club membership? Yeah, didn't think so. A 2019 study found that boat ownership among people aged 20 to 39 dropped by over 40% in a single decade. It's not that young people don't like boating, they just can't afford the entry fee anymore. In the 1970s, a working class family could stretch a paycheck and still afford a 22-foot sailboat and club dues. Now even middle class professionals think twice before buying a dinghy. And that, my friends, has left yacht clubs with a serious case of empty docks. If the docks aren't empty, they are filled with boats owned by 60-year-olds and up, which brings us to the next point. Here's another fun fact. The average yacht club member in North America today is around 60 years old. It's not a dig, it's just the demographic reality. The people keeping clubs alive right now are the same ones who joined 40 years ago, and they're not being replaced. Why? Because the next generation doesn't do clubs. Millennials and Gen Z socialize differently. They don't need bylaws, dress codes, or standing committees to have a good time. They find community online, at breweries, or through casual meetup groups. The idea of paying dues to hang out somewhere just feels foreign to them. And when you combine that with packed schedules, long work hours, and the cost of living, joining a yacht club just isn't even on the radar. Even when clubs try to bring in younger people through the junior sailing programs, the pipeline breaks. Kids take lessons, have a blast, and move on. They go to college, they get jobs. There's no affordable entry-level boat options for them to buy. The only option is 30-year-old fixer-uppers. They don't sail anymore, and the connection to the club disappears. In the 1960s, the average new member was in their early 30s, young families with kids learning to sail. In the 1990s, new members were pushing 60. Today, some clubs are jokingly called retirement marinas. It's not that young people hate yacht clubs, they just don't see them as for them. And that's the deadly problem if you're trying to build a future. Let's talk about yacht club marinas for a second. In my experience, club marinas are very packed and not beginner boater friendly. They are trying to maximize the number of boats to avoid wait lists, while having enough boats to spread the cost out. They crowd boats in to an unsafe degree. The marina is oftentimes run by volunteer work. This, in theory, should save money. It also means the people don't always care that much about other people's boats, which leads to damage and boats getting beat up. The people running this just never seem to care as much as someone working for a big tip at the end of the day at a commercial marina. Do they really save money over a commercial marina? No. In my experience, after you throw in the cost of dues on top of the club marina fees, you come out just as expensive or more expensive. Then you throw on top of that, you have to do work hours or pay even more. I've never found that the yacht club marina route saved any time or money at all compared to a commercial marina. Okay, enough doom and gloom, let's talk solutions. Yacht clubs can bounce back, some already are, but it takes a major course correction. If these institutions want to survive, they need to embrace the 3 C's: community, cost, and culture. Community means being open to everyone who loves the water. Cost means lowering barriers to entry. And culture means ditching the stiff traditions and making the club fun again. Sounds simple, right? Well, it's not easy, but it's happening. Let's break it down. Step 1, throw the gates open. If yacht clubs want to stay alive, they need to shed the image of being for rich people only. That means changing the membership culture, not just in marketing, but in attitude. Some clubs have started outreach programs to invite new sailors in. To evolve backgrounds, ages, and incomes, make your evening perf or fundraisers open to anyone, not just club members. The club located next to the arena I'm in now has a Friday night fundraise series, which is supposed to be low-key. Then they go make that series club members only. This is a big missed opportunity to get other boats in the area to experience club activities. Some clubs have started to partner with local schools to run sailing camps or youth programs that actually connect kids to the club community, not just dump them in a morning class and send them home. Even something as simple as an annual tri-sailing day where anyone from the community can hop aboard a club boat can make a big difference. The message has to be you don't need a trust fund or trophy case to belong here, just a love of the water. Next up, make it affordable. The idea that you need to own a boat to join a yacht club is one of the biggest barriers around. It's 2025. Let's move past that. Some forward-thinking clubs are offering crew membership where you don't need a boat at all. Just show up, learn, and crew for other members. Others are experimenting with volunteer credits. You can trade time for reduced dues, help maintain the docks, paint a committee boat, run a regatta, and get discount on your membership. A few have even set up shared boat programs, kind of like Zipcar for sailing. You join, you book a boat when you want, and you skip all the maintenance headaches. Club boats are an idea that is going to be more important going forward. Very few, if any, boat builders are making affordable entry-level boats. A club boat fleet that is modern and new that members can use is the perfect gateway to get people in sailing without the barrier of buying a boat they can't afford, or the alternative, buying a 30 to 50-year-old fixer-upper. It's brilliant because what young person wants to go out and buy a boat older than they are just to start sailing? Lowering the cost isn't just about generosity, it's survival. You can't have a thriving club if nobody can afford to join it. If there's one phrase every Commodore should tape to their desk, it's this: more fun, less formality. The clubs that are thriving today are the ones that loosened up. They swapped out white tablecloth dinners for taco nights, formal events for dock parties with live music, and strict dress codes for, well, whatever keeps you from getting sunburned. It's about creating a space where everyone feels comfortable, not judged, where members laugh more than they lecture. One sailing journalist put it perfectly: clubs that prioritize fun, accessibility, and community sailing thrive. The others are slowly sinking. And he's right, because at the end of the day, the magic of sailing isn't in the trophies. It's in the stories, the friendship, and the memories you make out on the water. You know what else helps? Variety. Not everyone wants to race sailboats in 20 knots of wind. Some people just want to paddleboard at sunrise, take a sunset cruise, or fish off the dock. If your club is centered heavily around racing, understand that non-racers will feel put off and feel disconnected to the club activities and eventually leave. The modern boating club doesn't have to be just about sailing. It can be about being on the water, period. Add kayaking, paddleboarding, eco tours, movie nights, and family barbecues. Make it the kind of place people want to hang out, not just dock their boats and leave. When you give people a reason to show up that isn't just sailing, they'll come and they'll stay. This might sound obvious, but you'd be surprised how many yacht clubs are practically invisible online. Some still have websites that look that they were built during the Netscape era. No social media, no updates, no presence. If you don't have schedules, sailing instructions, and sign up online, you're missing out. No one wants to hunt for a contact to call or email just to find out start times or other basic information. If you do put an email or contact form on your site, make sure that someone actually answers it. You'd be surprised how many times messages about clubs and race series get lost in the email black hole. The younger crowd lives on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. If you're not showing up in their feed, you don't exist. They don't like calling places. They don't want to talk on the phone. Clubs that post regular photos, kids learn to sail, sunset races, or people laughing on the dock, or rewriting their image from exclusive to inviting. And that shift matters because the more visible you are, the more relatable you become. Let's face it, everyone loves a good sunset sail photo. Post it, tag it, share it. That's how you get the next generation curious about what you're doing. Now, before we completely roast yacht clubs, let's take a second to remember what made them special in the first place. They were where people learned to sail, where families grew up together in the water, where lifelong friendships and sometimes lifelong rivalries are born. They taught generations not just how to handle a boat, but how to handle the sea. If those clubs disappear, we don't just lose a social scene, we lose a piece of maritime culture. We lose the sense of belonging that only comes from shared saltwater stories. And honestly, that would be a shame. So here's the takeaway. Yacht clubs aren't dying because people stop loving the water. They're dying because they stopped keeping up with the world around them. The sea hasn't changed, but society has. And if yacht clubs want to stay afloat, they need to hoist some new sails and catch up with the world today. Because the truth is, the idea of a yacht club, a community of people who share love for the ocean, is still beautiful. It just needs a little less formality, a little more fun, and a whole lot more welcome. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. Subscribe for more sailing nostalgia and share this with someone who loves sailing as much as you do. Until next time, see you out in the water.